Hi guys, K Productions back again with another 3D modeling update. This time we're going to take a quick look at some additional tools I've recently used to help speed up my Blender workflow. Just a quick note up front, I'm not affiliated with or endorsed by any of the software I mentioned in this video. I've just found them to be really helpful and I'd like to share that with you guys. If you're interested in any of the tools I talk about, you'll find all of the links in the description below. Also, if you stick around to the end, I've got a few additional things to mention that you may find interesting. So, with that out of the way, let's jump in. As you may already know, Blender is a free open source software that's a favorite among 3D artists and creators. If you want to get started right now, you can follow the link at the bottom of this video to download Blender and immediately dive into modeling, animating, or sculpting. There's also some phenomenal creators out there offering amazing tutorials without requiring major plugins. I'd recommend going this route if you don't want to spend any money and just want to get familiar with the basic software first. At some point, I'll be releasing my own Intro to Blender Basics tutorial to help new users get started, along with a series of shorts covering the basic interface and shortcuts within Blender. However, if you're looking to speed up your modeling, here's a list of add-ons, most of which I use to model in this video. The first add-on I ever tried was BlenderKit, a free open source add-on that provides access to a huge library of user-generated 3D models, materials, textures, brushes, and HDRIs. Like most open source platforms, BlenderKit provides both free and paid assets, but here's the cool part. You get access to the entire texture library absolutely free. If you're just starting out and don't want to spend anything, then this is a great place to begin. A good example of how BlenderKit can be useful is in quickly assembling entire scenes for lighting, animation, or render practice. It can save you hours of work when building concepts or blocking out ideas. While I didn't use BlenderKit exclusively in this tutorial, it has helped me get started on past projects, and its plugin is always something I come back to. I highly recommend it. The next two add-ons we're going to take a look at is BoxCutter and HardOps, both from Team C. Unfortunately, the tutorial that I followed from Blender Bros is no longer available, but if you follow the link in the description below to their store page, you can find plenty of other courses that they have to offer. Now, you can buy these add-ons separately, but it is recommended to get the bundle for a more streamlined workflow, and as of right now, that just costs $38. Now, BoxCutter saved me a lot of time when adding or cutting shapes into my model. Whether I was following a specific cut or wanted to add a unique shape to the mesh, BoxCutter allowed me to do it easily with a simple click and drag of the mouse. One of its best features is the ability to scroll through different booleans in real time. I could cycle through various cut types like slice, inset, and more, directly on the mesh before applying them. This level of control made the process not only more intuitive, but also a huge time saver. I also experimented with some of its snapping and alignment tools, which helped with precision, but I can tell that I'm just scratching the surface with BoxCutter and what it's able to do. As I'm just getting used to these tools, I'm mainly focused on their core functions for the tutorial, but I'm excited to explore their full potential in future projects. Now, HardOps I'm still getting used to outside of the tutorial, but from what I've used so far, it's exactly what I expect from a solid plugin. It's a collection of tools designed to make the modeling process so much smoother. By pressing the Q key, I could bring up a dialog box with a list of adjustments and tools that could be applied directly within the viewport. This included adding bevels, smoothing, array modifiers, and toggling between active or hidden modifiers like booleans. Now, since Team C developed both BoxCutter and HardOps, they work seamlessly together, making the modeling process incredibly fast and efficient. The next plugin I used was something called KitOps by Chip Walters. It comes in both a free and a paid version, and the link is in the description. KitOps is great for applying pre-designed cutter shapes or decals without permanently altering your model or mesh. This non-destructive workflow is a huge time saver. KitOps, along with the other add-ons from Team C, is specifically designed for flexibility. If you add something you don't like or need to make an adjustment, you can easily tweak or remove the cutter or insert while keeping the rest of your model intact. I haven't done a deep dive into KitOps yet, but just getting started, the free version was more than enough. I also found a ton of free resources called K-Packs on platforms like Blender Market and Gumroad, and they provided a decent asset library for KitOps at no extra cost. Now, since I'm new to the concept of kit bashing, this was a great way to dip my toes in and speed up the workflow. So that covers some of the key plugins that have helped me speed up my work within Blender. If any of these interest you, check out the links in the description. And again, I'm not affiliated, I just think they're game changers when it comes to a faster workflow within Blender. I recently decided to invest a little money into purchasing these add-ons, knowing I'll be spending a lot of time in Blender in the future. However, if you don't want to spend any money yet, or if you're unsure about making an investment, there are tons of free resources out there to help you get started and fall in love with Blender modeling. At some point, I may look into recording a free add-on workflow and sharing that here on YouTube. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Now, for the big reveal that I asked you to stick around for. I'm going to be shifting gears a little for my next video, but don't worry, it's still going to be centered around Blender and 3D modeling if that's what you're here for. But instead of a modeling tutorial, I'll be sharing my opinions and outlook on AI and its potential impacts on me as a new 3D artist. If that sounds interesting to you, then make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss it when I drop that video. Now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. Do you have any thoughts on what I've mentioned? Would you like to see me do a deep dive into any of the plugins? Maybe there's a specific Blender topic you'd like me to cover as a beginner. Would you like to collaborate with me on a future project and help grow the channel? If any of this sounds good, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your input as we explore Blender together. That's all from me. Thanks for watching, and God bless you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.